Thanks for staying with us. According to reports, Nigeria now has $52.88 million to fund the rural electrification project and to support its counter-terrorism project. The funds were recovered from the United States as proceeds of forfeited assets linked to former Minister of Petroleum Resources Diezani Alison-Madueke and her associates. The Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, CISLAC, has commended the return of looted funds and demands accountability and applaud the collaboration between the Nigerian and U.S. government in achieving this milestone. Join us on the show in Abuja from our Abuja studios to discuss his thoughts on this is the Executive Director, Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, CISLAC, himself, Mr. Auwal Rafsanjani. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you and good morning and Happy New Year. Good
to have you on the show. We read your comments concerning the retrieval of this amount of money, and I would just like to hear your initial thoughts when you heard about this, getting back this amount of money from sources linked to former Minister of Petroleum Alison-Madueke.
Well, first and foremost, I think it is a good development for Nigeria and for Nigerians. Nigerians are gradually winning against those who deprive them from access to quality life by siphoning public taxpayers' money. So therefore, this recovery is one of the major landmarks that really, give us hope and confidence that if we sustain this effort and block leakages, we will not allow public officials who are unpatriotic to be siphoning public taxpayers' money. Secondly, this also shows the strong international cooperation between Nigeria and other countries, which CISLAC and so many other organizations have been actually advocating for. I remember in 2017 when we had a Global Forum for Access Recovery. This was part of the understanding that the global leaders agreed on, that there is need to sustain international cooperation in terms of seizure of recovered or rather looted money abroad. So Nigeria has done well in terms of really engaging the international community, which civil society have been playing role in terms of ensuring that this understanding is sustained. In terms of the getting the funds, it is also important that these funds are going to be channeled to a very visible and very important project that Nigerians can actually see and touch and feel, unlike the previous recoveries that Nigerians did not actually see much of its impact on them. So going forward, we want to encourage the Nigerian government to ensure more openness, more proper communication, more updates and progress in terms of the utilization of this asset. Okay. Not only international recovered asset, but domestic asset, which we believe is even higher than the international recovery that we have done. So if there's no credible information on what these assets are being used for, Nigerians will not see the value and the effort that government has done. Okay. But if government sustain openness, accountability and transparency in the management of this asset, as provided in our crime act 2022, Proceed of Crime Act 2022, it will really have, and also with the various international commitments that Nigeria has actually committed itself.
Okay.
So civil society will continue to support the effort of government to ensure that these assets are recovered.
Right.
But more importantly, civil society will continue to work with the government to ensure that we block leakages. We do not even allow public officials to even steal these funds in the first place.
Let me get a few more questions for you.
When you,
let me get a few more questions for you.
So in line with, we're happy that this has happened, and then in line with the fact that we lack transparency, as a nation, do you think also forming a committee whereby we can actually know between the publics and the political parties, that we can know what exactly it is this money is being used for, that is actually being utilized for what is supposed to be utilized. And then secondly, do you also think it's important for the terms, for the full terms of the agreement amongst all the parties, between all parties, to be made as a public document for everybody to know what is in it?
Yeah, so, under this agreement, we have seen, very clear and very clarity in terms of how the management of these funds will be. So first, Nigeria, American government, and the World Bank will work together to ensure that these funds are actually put in a very trusted, dedicated account that will not be mingling, like we've seen in the past. Secondly, there will be a proper accounting procedure. In the previous recovery, you do not have any audit report or even progress report on how recovered asset had been utilized. So this new innovation contained in this agreement is very good to enhance transparency and encourage even international community to do more in terms of ensuring that they return this asset. Because in the past, the allegation is that Nigeria will recover this money, we will do all the effort that we will do to get this money back, and yet there's no accountability on how these assets are actually utilized. So this time around, you are going to have progress report, you are going to have audit report, and there will be a kind of oversight on how this project are carried out. And definitely there will be involvement of non-state actors to observe how these projects are implemented. So it is very innovative ideas that will enhance more transparency and accountability in the assets recovered, and not only in the international level but also domestically. We should apply this process if we are going to restore hope and confidence on the citizens and international community that Nigeria is actually ready to open up to ensure that its citizens benefit from these looted funds that some wicked public officials have stolen in the first place.
Let me get a few more questions for you.
Nigerian government.
Okay, so the American government stated specifically what they want us to use this $52 million for, and they also said it will be channeled through the World Bank to partly fund our rural electrification project to increase the reliability and availability of renewable energy in Nigeria, and also the 2.88 million would be disbursed to as a grant to Nigeria to the International Institute of Justice to support the rule of law and counter-terrorism project. Since you're commending this, do you completely agree with this, or have you seen any criticism against this decision by the U.S. government to tell us what to do with our money that was missing all these years?
Well, ideally, if we have not abused the global confidence and trust and the citizens, confidence, nobody should have told us, what to do. But the truth is that previous recovery that have been done, you cannot actually see the impact. The citizens have not seen the impact on that. And the allegation is that right from Obasanjo period to today, you recover this money and it gets looted, allegedly. So this time around, it is important that, because the ultimate beneficiary for this is supposed to be the citizens, not government official. And if there will be an arrangement that Nigerian government and the country where these funds are in the possibility domicile, if there will be understanding that this is going to be used for the citizens, I think it's better than to return the money and the money get disappeared. So ideally, because if you look at the 2025 budget, so much frivolous proposal for spending on cars and so many things that have nothing to do with dealing with poverty, dealing with the economy in the country. So if rural electrification that will help to improve productivity, that will get Nigerians to have access to energy, if it will be used for that, I believe Nigerians will welcome it and they will not have any objection. Secondly, everybody knows that our judicial system is so, allegedly corrupt, so bastardized, so compromised, and if we can use some part of this, funds to train our judiciary, to reform judiciary, so that judiciary can actually be, an avenue for ensuring administrative justice system in the country, I don't think it is a problem for Nigerians. Thirdly, everybody knows that the terrorism in this country has large-scale impact, negative impact on Nigerians. And if we can use this fund to deal decisively with the terrorists and the terrorist financing in this country, I think many Nigerians will not have objection, because terrorism and violence and criminality has actually undermined progress in this country. Other countries are making progress in terms of science, technology, economy.
Comrade, I have to pause you for a second.
But in the case of Nigeria, terrorism financing has been a major stumbling block. Our financial institutions are being used to finance terrorism, to sponsor terrorism in this country.
Okay,
and if we can block those leakages, and that would be great.
All right. Thank you, Comrade. Let me go on a very short break. When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.